as she turns 18, she enters a lot of these situations where the producers, the writers, the people she's working with become quite predatory. And she becomes a frequent binge drinker. She is somebody that does ultimately, I think, turn to sex for validation. Ultimately, her therapist is like, you're a sex addict.
Yeah. She ends up really just like hardening up because I think one of the effects of her career stalling, everyone kind of questioning her and leading her into this headspace where she can't trust her own self or her own decision-making skills, where they tell her everything she does isn't good enough or they tell her her body isn't good enough. Like the fact that from age 15 to now 21, all she's been told is you're wrong about yourself, you're wrong about everything, and you're not
Your
pretty.
instincts are off. Yeah.
It like leads her to this place where she is operating like a spinning top. She has no center. I guess a spinning top has distinctly a center.
She's very hollowed out. And I think especially when you experience the high highs of that much fame and that much success, especially on like a pubescent brain, like I feel like that does chemically alter you because how do you feel that again? Like what she is chasing is like, she's been there.
Yeah. And now she has this dream of making the type of music she wants to make, but she's also a bit lost in what that music even is because she's gotten so far away from her center.
Yeah. And it's also always that, well, you didn't like leave, get out. Like, should we do what's always worked or should we do what we want to work?
Yeah. From ages 19 to 24, I wrote and or cut over 200 strong, striving for perfection and acceptance in the process. They won't put out anything. I internalized that I didn't know what was best for me as a core truth. I damn near lived in the studio during those years and I loved every second of it, but I hated sitting on the sidelines without any fucking clue as to what the plan or the problem was. She's also not hearing from Barry and the label execs directly. She's just getting notes through her manager. And after years of limbo, like her fans online are like, where are you? And they start this free JoJo campaign. It's been at this point 9 years since she put out a record.
The music industry was and still is in many ways a very small fishbowl. Behind the scenes, there were all these songs I was working on that were getting amazing responses from people and they would never come out. But I'd hear a very similar vibe or melody or concept that another artist managed to release. For every step I took forward, it felt like I was falling 4 steps behind, like I was always looking like I was late chasing a trend when I had been the one pushing things forward in the first place without getting any of the recognition at all.
She also ends up putting out a mixtape because she looks into the legality of it. And if she's not making any money, she can put music out technically.
She names it Can't Take That Away From Me and puts it out in September 2010. She does a cover of Marvin's Room that goes super viral that people love. She does like her own spin on it. I mean, people are really responding to the music she's putting out there, but nobody in the industry seems to care. They all want to bank on a safe bet. And on the other side, she's like drinking more and more. I feel like it's hard for her to stand up for herself in the industry because she shows up to this Interscope Christmas party and like gets so drunk, she like rips her clothes.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have any direct access to any of her record label people. Everything's being done through the manager who also doesn't really believe in her and doesn't line up with her sensibilities wise. Like, not that it's her fault, but it does seem like there's just so many filters in place that like nothing can get through the sieve.
There's just no one on her side, including herself, really, because she's so afraid to stand up for herself.
They start picking on the way she dresses. Like her manager does not like the way she styles herself, does not like the kind of music she wants. I mean, it gets really bad.
At one point, they want her to declare bankruptcy in order to get out of this contract with Blackground. And she's like, I grew up poor. We don't do that. And her money manager, now she's like, oh, they were trying to teach me how rich people act, which is that like money is a concept and you just like do whatever you want to do.
But she's like, yeah, I wasn't going to go back to my working class town and be like, I'm out of money. I think she's also worried about the perception. She just didn't get it. She's also in this lawsuit where she's suing Blackground basically to say, please let me out of this contract.
And finally, they do.
It turns out that there is this loophole in New York State where if you are a minor, you cannot sign away a contract to services rendered for more than 7 years. At this point, it had been 10 years since she had signed that contract. I guess she's 22 at this point. And so she's 3 years past due date and she's free. She's out. She sends them the cease and desist or whatever, and they kind of say, fine, take your shit and go.